Hey guys, David here. I'm going to show y'all a trick. If you see any of my other videos, you'll know I like to do tricks and stuff. Well, you're sitting there looking at this picture and you're like, wow, that's a dollar bill floating in a glass bowl with purple stuff. So, here's a dollar bill. It's a real dollar bill. But I'm going to show you something that you may not be able to believe. So look at this dollar. Look at this. Whoa, can you see that? Whoa, look at that. How is that happening? How is he doing that? Look at that. Whoa. Look at that. There's the back. Whoa. Look at all my hands. Look at that. You probably, I don't know if you know this or not, but money isn't printed on paper. It's printed on it's like called rag paper. It's like 75% cotton and like 25% regular paper. And you can't buy the paper that they print money on. You can't buy it. It's sold by, I looked it up, it's sold by one manufacturer, and you can't buy it. They only sell it to the feds that print money. So a couple years ago, I was just playing around. I like to do my own science experiments, and I always thought it would be neat if you could take the ink off of this paper, because you can't get it anywhere. It's like you can't buy it, can't do anything with it. So I came across this technique out of trial and error, and you don't need, you don't need to scrub it with a toothbrush or anything like that. You just, if you let it soak long enough, this ink that they print it with will just come off. Look at that. It's fading through. And this isn't like acid or something like that. You see me touching it with my bare skin. I'm not getting no blisters or nothing like that. But this is a really neat trick. If you work this long enough, and I've done this before, if you work this long enough, let it soak long enough, what'll happen is almost every single bit of the ink, except like this symbol here and these nines that you see, those are printed with some type of different type of ink. Those will not come off. I know, I've looked it up, and I know that they use some type of magnetic ink to print money. And like the reason money has that funny feeling is because the ink is, I believe it's raised off the paper. And also that's the way, like, coin machines know when you put in $1 or $5 or $10, is because they read the magnetic ink. But I just thought I'd show y'all this little trick. And like I said, if you keep working it and let it soak, sometimes you have to let it soak for hours. Eventually, all the ink will come off, except for these few little places. And you'll have a piece of currency paper with very little to no signs of most of the ink. And you know, like I said, I'm not, you know, this is just for educational purposes. I'm not trying to counterfeit or do anything like this. And I've actually looked up the law, and the law says that, you know, you can actually, it's protected under the First Amendment. You can actually burn money if you want to, you know, just the same as you can burn an American flag. You know, I'm not saying I would do something like that, but you can. It's protected under First Amendment. And the way the law is written is you can get in trouble if you're changing money in order to change the denomination. I'm not trying to change any denomination. All I'm trying to do is just figure out, can I make the ink erase? So it's doing pretty good. So we'll come back in a little bit and check it out and see where it got to. See if we can get all the ink off, you know. So let's try back in a little bit. Bye. So we're back, and I just wanted to show you. So this is after about 2 hours. You can see the difference, the comparison. That's about after 2 hours. If you let it soak longer, you know, I've let one soak all night long, and if you let it soak all night long, it'll pretty much be just a white paper. But I just wanted to show you that. See. You know, you can see the difference there. You know, but like I said, it's a really cool experiment. It's kind of funny, you know. I always thought that, you know, the paper that they printed money on, you know, I was like, is it green? Is it white? What is it? You know, you'll eventually see that it's just regular white rag paper. And like I said, if you let it soak longer, and like if you agitate the water, like I agitated the water one time, you just got to be real careful, because after a long time, if you let it soak for a long time, the material, the liquid will eventually, it will deteriorate the paper, and it can start falling apart, because it's a strong, not strong enough to hurt your hands, but it will start to break down the paper over time. And but it's just kind of a, like I said, it's kind of a cool little experiment. And you know, the back, the ink that they use on the back, it must be a lot, I don't know, more stronger or something, because that the front looks way, like, vast difference. But well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like I said, it's just an experiment. You know, if you want to, you can try it yourself. Make sure that you like and subscribe. You know, I'm not going to tell you the name of the chemical, because I don't want to, you know, it's something that you can buy readily available. You can buy it over the counter. But I don't want to, you know, because kids watch this, and I don't want kids getting into chemicals. And I don't want to hurt nobody. It's just for, like I said, it's a fun experiment. So, yeah. You know, like I said, if I let it soak longer, then the majority of the ink, I'd say at least 90% of the ink would be off of it, and you would just see white paper. But all right, well, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Make sure you like and subscribe. This is David with Zoe Zizzles. Thank you very much. Bye.